Welcome to the Geriatric Millennials. This is Jayme.
And this is Beth.
And we are two oldish, youngish ladies talking about how to be a good citizen / person, human. I don't know.
I think it's mainly, we're just talking about, in the most positive way possible, how not to be a jerk.
That's another way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of like social norms that have gone away that dealt with like, you know, like concert etiquette and inline etiquette and just things that people used to do.
Etiquette in general.
You know, like restaurant behaviors that were like at one time seemed unacceptable, but now people just do whatever they want. And so I feel like this is not quite shouting at the world with my cane conversation, but adjacent. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I am so
Maybe
curious.
you took
What's on your list and what's on mine? So
I literally thought I'm not going to have that much. And then I had to stop myself.
Yeah, it just
was just going to be like
flowing.
pages. And I just want to say, like, this is our disclaimer. No hate to anyone. If this is something that you do, we're not 100% judging you. Don't come at us.
We kind of are, but don't.
Come
so
at us
what?
because we're gentle, sweet butterflies. And
No, I just, maybe somebody needs to hear this.
it might be a hard truth for someone, which better to hear it through a podcast than like have someone into your face be like, by the way, you're disgusting, you know?
Okay, let's get into this.
Okay. Again, I have a crazy list, but so the first thing that I really popped in my head is just don't be gross in public. So to me, that is just like, don't clip your nails in public.
Yeah.
Don't don't file your nails in confined spaces because guess what? All of that nail dust, which is your personal like dust and is now in my nostrils. I'm not okay with that. Or it's leaving a film.
Yeah.
Like keep that at home.
Yeah.
You know, like don't do like oral care
in public.
Like, oh, we're sitting at the doctor's office and now you're going to take floss out and now it's flying.
That's so gross.
Don't
do that.
No. Like it's bad enough that sometimes I have to see coworkers and stuff brushing their teeth in the bathroom, the big communal bathrooms. It's no shame because like I get it, braces, this, that. There's all kinds of reasons. But I also don't like doing that kind of stuff in spaces that a lot of people use. Because to me, it just doesn't feel
sanitary.
Yeah, it feels gross.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to. I get it. I had Invisalign. There were times I was like, well, it's the pick in the bathroom or we're going to look crazy.
Yeah.
However, please do not do it at the table next to me.
And picking your nose. Can you please not? Can you please not do that? Or and then flicking it? Like,
oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Definitely not flicking it.
Not in public.
Don't rub your bodily juices on anything. Like,
what?
Oh, you know,
Beth, what?
But you know what I mean? Like
what
people
bodily
just,
juices.
Oh, I'm coughing and now my hands, and then I wipe it somewhere, or I sneeze
Why
and
do
wipe.
people sneeze or cough into their hand in the first place?
Lots
That's
of
the
stuff.
weirdest thing ever. Like of all places for you to cover in germs, why your hand? Like of all body parts, like come on.
I don't know
why, but I feel like was that taught at some point to do that? Like cover your cough with your hand?
I think they did cover your cough, and then people just did it with the hand. They didn't do vampire in your elbow. Maybe. I don't know, Jayme. I don't do those things. But it's like, again, just don't, none of you should get on any of me in public.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a big one for me.
So, okay, here's one. Your trash
Yeah.
needs to go in a proper receptacle.
Yeah.
Don't litter. Do not put your gum
Oh my gosh.
anywhere.
Anywhere.
Stepping on gum is one of the most horribly annoying things that could happen because it gets into all the creases of the bottom of your shoe and it's sticky and it's just a mess and it's like so hard to get off. And it's just like, why did this person make this choice? This was a choice.
It was 100% a choice.
Everyone has a choice of what they do with their gum, their chewed up gum, the gum wrapper, all of it. Just put it in a proper receptacle. Why do people think it's okay to leave trash just in the world, in the environment, in I don't know, in a park or at the beach or on the street, or like, why do people think that's okay? Do they not? No, that's not okay. Don't do that.
I literally had a flashback. I was sitting at a table and I just reached, you know, like how like you're just, I touched something and it was somebody's gum.
Underneath.
Like
why?
And then my hand was like stained. I had it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
You needed to pull out that hand sanitizer, spray.
But I was like
sanitizer.
outside at the time. It wasn't in a place where I could go just wash hands. It was like at a park or something. You know, the other thing that disgusts me is in Seattle, you know, the gum wall.
It's very disgusting, but it smells good.
I can't handle it. To me, it just like, there's nothing worse in my life than to see chewed gum. Even my own. So if I spit out gum into my trash, I have to put it in a tissue first or I have to cover it with other trash.
Really?
Because I hate the way it looks. It just grosses me out.
With the teeth marks?
I don't know what it is. It just disgusts me. And I've only been to the gum. I mean, I've been to Seattle a bunch of times, but I've only been to the gum wall once. And I was like, this is the most horrific, disgusting thing. If somebody were to push me into this wall right now, I would literally have a panic attack. I'd have to like pour bleach on my whole body.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I agree with the trash too.
Like, don't litter.
Well, I have dumpsters by my house, like, because where I live, I use a dumpster. And so many times I go out there and people have just left their bags of trash next to the dumpster.
Like, can you not just put
full.
it in?
Like, just throw it up there. Like, it's so gross. And then it gets ripped and then the trash is everywhere. I'm like, and then the trash juice starts flowing. And I'm just like, stop.
All juices need to remain in proper containment.
Yes, please. Okay, this is kind of a weird one. And I have a love-hate relationship with it. But I just don't like that we just film each other in public at this point. Yeah. And we'll like take a film of somebody or video of somebody and then like send it, or people will film something happening to them and they post it on social media. I think there's really good instances where it can super help, right? Like with social injustice and all kinds of things that we're like, you know, calling people out in a real way, documenting. But then there's the salacious part of it. And that to me is gross. I honestly don't love it when people are like videotaping other people's kids and posting them in places. There's like, there's these First Amendment guys that go around and sometimes they go to public spaces and they just record people and like, then just to get a reaction and to show people like, well, we can record because you can record anything that's in public, but they make people feel uncomfortable. Like I watched them follow, like they were in a post office, which I guess they're allowed to film because it's a public space. And this woman's like, they're following this woman. They're like, she's like, why are you guys filming me? And they're like, because we can, and blah, blah, this is a public space. She's like, that's weird. And they just keep like following her. And I'm just like, and there was really nothing she could do because they weren't breaking any laws or anything.
It feels
but it was
very
just
invasive.
Like, it was just gross. I mean, it's just gross behavior to like
that's not being
stalk people.
That's not being nice.
No, and especially if like somebody's just like, hey, please don't videotape me, then don't. Like, don't film me, don't record me.
Just
like,
respect other people.
Yeah, it's like,
I think that's a good rule.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I do love a good Karen freak out video, but I feel like that doesn't go under the umbrella of like, you know, it's okay to call out gross behavior. It's not okay to be the gross behavior.
Right. There we go. Okay. Here's one. Can everyone please just follow the traffic rules?
Yeah, right.
Can everyone just follow the rules when it comes to driving? I would really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would appreciate a signal light.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would appreciate, you know, the following of the lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting your turn, doing it properly. The person who has the right of way gets the right of way.
Yeah.
So I spent quite a bit of time in a lovely place called Hawaii, and there's a lot of aloha there, which means love, also means hello.
Mm-hmm.
There was this cultural thing of like driving with aloha, and people were really gracious, really gracious in their driving, and in terms of letting somebody else go, even when it wasn't their turn or when they didn't have the right of way, and like, you know, stopping traffic so like so-and-so can turn and different things like that, which in some ways was like nice because it was driving with aloha. But in other ways, it was extremely frustrating because it's confusing.
Yeah.
Also, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan. I do want people to drive with aloha in that they're being, kind and respectful and gracious, but I do want you to follow the rules of the road so that I know and that everyone knows what to expect and how to drive safely when I'm sharing the road. Please just follow the traffic rules.
Yeah. I hear you. There's honestly nothing worse than when you like get to like a 4-way stop and the person that stopped first is trying to be nice. And then it's just like, dude, there's like 3 other people here.
You're like, you have
to just go because now we don't know the order.
Yeah.
And now you've made it into a situation.
Yeah.
It's like,
and there's pressure in those situations. It just doesn't feel like anyone's doing you a favor when they don't follow the rules.
Yeah.
It feels uncomfortable to me because I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
I actually don't. I'm just like, no, you go. Or the people who are like oncoming traffic, you're turning left, right? And there's a couple of lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And so one lane just like stops so that you can go. And I'm like, dude, there's another lane beside you with somebody coming. Like, thanks for trying to be nice, but like, you're going to get me killed. Like if I do what you tell me to do.
Exactly.
I'm going to follow the rules of the road, like not you. And they're just like, go. And it's like, if I go, I will die.
Yeah.
So no.
Please stop. No, thank you.
Please just follow the rules. Everyone listening to this podcast and beyond. Please.
Okay. In following the rules, I feel bad because I'm pretty a rule person. Like I pretty much just always follow all the rules,
Do you?
Which is very boring. I have a really hard time breaking rules.
Okay.
I think there's an unwritten rule that when you go to a store to buy something and something's on sale or something, you don't take everything.
Right.
And I just see all of these like resellers and collectors that go to like TJ Maxx. And when I say see, I mean on the internet because I'm not leaving my house to do this.
Yeah.
And they go to the Marshalls and whatever. And like right now, like Hello Kitty is really popular again. So you see these people like lining up at the door and then like rushing to like grab all of the blankets when there's like other people that want them. And it's like, I get it. Like it's the economy and like people are trying to have a hustle.
People are
and whatever.
doing that for Hello Kitty.
Yeah. Like
Why?
Hello Kitty, because like you can resell some of those blankets for hundreds of dollars online.
Because who is buying them?
People
is so
just want
bizarre.
them.
All these subcultures, I don't understand. Anyway, continue.
Collectors, man. And sometimes it's status, like, like it's the hot thing to have and be, videotaped, or I keep saying videotaped. I'm so old to be filmed having like a blanket or, it's for the clout or whatever.
Recorded.
So I can't help myself. Anyway, but I just don't like that. Or you see somebody that I was watching this lady that was at a store and like it was like a dollar store or something, and she was just like taking all of this stuff that was priced really cheaply because she was going to go back and resell it. But I'm like, a lot of people use that stuff because that's the only option they have. She was buying like sanitary napkins, like period pads, and it was just like, it's sad to me, like in that community, maybe that's like the only accessible store and you're taking everything to go make money.
Where in the world is she going to sell that?
They were like organic and like special ones. So it's like you can sell that stuff on Amazon and eBay and stuff.
Oh.
Like
seems like so much work.
Well, but I mean, if you're buying it for $2 and you're selling it for 10, and they're actually selling.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are doing. They're going, it's like the Ray Dunn ladies, remember when Ray Dunn was so huge? They would go to like Marshalls and TJ Maxx and they would stock out. And
I don't know who Ray Dunn is.
Ray Dunn is like the cups and stuff.
All I thought was Ray Gunn, the Olympic Australian breakdancer.
No.
Sorry. I'm totally confused.
Very similar vibes at this point.
Ray Dunn.
Ray Dunn is the cups that say like mom or sugar on the sugar bowl, like that that specific writing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So.
Yeah. They have like she was really, really, really popular in the like late 2010s through like I'm thinking early 2010 through like almost 2020, but then it fell off.
Okay.
But anyway, like they would go and they would buy the stuff because then you could resell it on eBay. One mug you bought for $12 for like $50 or whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
So there's this whole reseller mindset and, market where you can go buy great, stuff at like a TJ Maxx and then resell it, which I get it. The hustle is real. People are trying to make money, you got to provide.
Right.
But it's very frustrating when it gets to be where like people are camping out or being selfish and you're just like, I just want one for my kid. And like you literally like shoved me down the aisle.
Right. So. Yeah. Not cool. Not cool. Okay. Here's one. Let's be real. Everyone pees. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone pees.
For the most part, yes.
What do you mean the most part?
Some people have medical conditions where,
where they don't pee. I don't believe you.
Well, they do, but not in the traditional sense.
Okay. Well,
everyone
who pees, let's say.
Yes.
This is for everyone who pees in the traditional sense. And that is, you remember that little saying that was like, if you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seedy. Have you heard of that? I like your face.
Vaguely, but I feel like that's a kid and typically a dude thing because like I don't sprinkle anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Here is my spiel on this. When I'm in a public bathroom, I hover. I do not sit.
Oh, interesting.
On the seat. I don't do that. I hover and I pee, and occasionally there will be some pee on the seat, and I always wipe it off.
Mm-hmm.
And very frequently, I will come into a bathroom and there is a situation where there is pee on the seat that was not wiped off.
Mm.
And I just don't appreciate that. I think that it's really important that if you do get any pee on the seat, that you wipe it off. And most of the time I don't, but occasionally it will happen. And here's the other thing. I will go into a bathroom and there will be pee on the seat, and I will wipe other person's pee off before I leave because I don't want somebody coming in after me and there being pee on the seat. Your face. Your face right now. Because it is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay to leave pee on the seat, people. I don't care if you're male or female or young or old. Do not leave pee on the seat for the next person. You have to get the pee off. Beth, what are you thinking right now? Are you
shocked.
Still processing?
I'm shocked.
You're shocked at what?
That you're a hover. I always just use the toilet seat protector.
Sit down. I don't want to.
But I feel like the toilet seat protector is way better than just like wiping pee, because when you wipe it, it's not clean. It's just dry.
Oh, I hear you. I'm not saying I pee on the seat. I'm saying, but if I did, occasionally it might happen. I'm just processing. You're still going to they're still going to use a toilet seat cover. Great. There's the barrier. But I don't even want to sit on the seat. I don't want to. I won't do it.
Okay. That's cool. I don't have the dexterity for that because I'm like, when I lived in South Korea, because they have squatty potties where you like literally squat above the potty, I never used one because I was like, listen, you're going to fall over. It's going to be real embarrassing. So I'm always using the seat.
Kind of a quad workout.
Yeah. I do have to say though,
and squat.
We have very different bladder capacities.
How do you know?
Because we will sit here and in 2 hours you'll pee 4 times and I'll pee 0 times.
Maybe that's not a bladder thing. Maybe that's a hydration thing, Beth.
I'm hydrated, girl. It's not a diss against your bladder. It's just...
Well, I do frequently use...
But it's a lot of...
I don't hover at your house, just saying.
Well,
in case you needed
to know
that.
Okay, this is where I get weird, is that I always wash my toilet and spray it down and everything when you come, put a new hand towel out, and then I do not use it. Like it's a fresh bathroom when you come in.
Wow.
And then when you leave, I wipe it all down again, throw the hand towel, and I get a whole new set.
Wow. That's very sanitary of you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, I'm always like, wow, Beth's bathroom's so clean.
It's because I clean it it's for any guest. So anybody that comes over here, like I only have one bathroom right now, which is very frustrating. But basically it's like I clean it for the guests and then I will not use it while guests are here. And then when guests leave, I clean it and then I actually put out my personal items again because like I won't have my toothbrush out. I won't have my contact. I have nothing out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Bathroom is interesting.
It is interesting.
It's just what people do.
It is interesting. And my whole point was just be a good human citizen person and do not leave pee on the seat.
I'm going to jump on there though. It's like also just make sure the toilet flushes. Like don't just walk away.
Yeah.
Like you got to do, and you might have to flush if there's more happening. You might have to flush midway or something, but don't just like walk away from the situation.
Yeah.
It's very inappropriate.
Yeah.
Other things that are inappropriate are people that abuse and misuse the samples at Ulta and Sephora.
Right?
Like I'm never going to like I'm not going to put a lipstick on my lip.
No.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put anything on like my eyes, any sensitive area. I'm not going to do it. I'm always going to test on my hand or my wrist or something. And I try to always sanitize too. But even then, you just never know, and it's gross. And it's like, for me, like for anybody, you really have to color match because of color theory and stuff. It looks great. I mean, I just bought some of these really great lip oils. They're super cute. I think they're from Maybelline or something. I can't remember. But anyway, pretty popular. Loved the colors in the jar, but they're a drugstore brand. So there's no sample. And so I was just like, well, it's a $10 risk. And when I got home, one of them was okay, but the other one was like a pink color. It looked red, but when it got on me, it didn't because it didn't go with my skin tone. And so I'm just kind of stuck with it now. But yeah, it just annoys me when I go in there and people like scraped them or they've like just
yes.
Or if I see people in there just using them. I think I talked about this before.
There
was a trend maybe a year ago where people were going in to do like full face at Ulta, full face at Sephora, and just using all the samples and doing a full face of makeup, not sanitizing. They were just going in.
Nasty.
I was like, that's just gross.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. So here's a great idea, and that is to take responsibility for your own actions and property.
Okay.
Just take responsibility.
Give me an example.
Here's an example. You have a pet.
Uh-huh.
And your pet is causing destruction to your neighbor.
Got it.
Or not necessarily destruction, but repeated annoyance. Can you, rather than just having an attitude of not my problem, it's not bothering me, take responsibility and take whatever action could improve the situation?
Yeah.
Your pet goes to the bathroom on my grass.
Yeah.
Like,
go pick it up.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
Like, you take responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, little things like that, but like, you're responsible.
Yeah.
And like, you're responsible for your own mistakes, or like, just take responsibility. Like, don't just like blame other people or just be like, it's not my problem kind of thing. Like, my dog pooped on your lawn. I guess it's your problem now. Like, no.
Or like, not to sound like a annoying neighbor, but like, and I haven't had this for a long time, but this was over Labor Day weekend, like years ago. My neighbor that I shared a wall with was having a party, which is fine. Okay. The party lasted 3 days and it went until 6 in the morning every morning.
Oh, wow.
And
like
it was
all
like
night long.
super loud, and they were out on balconies and they were talking loud, and like you literally couldn't sleep. And the music was just going. It was like a rager.
Yeah.
In an apartment complex.
Yeah, that's
which is just like
to your neighbors.
Like, even in a house, there's just like a certain time when you need like, okay, I'm going to bring it down a notch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like not all the way. Like, I'm sorry, like you can still have loud music and be going without it like impacting your neighbors to the point where it's like, I literally can't sleep. And I'm not trying to be mean. Did I report him? Yes. Not to the authorities, but just to the leasing agents.
Yeah, I think that's completely appropriate.
And I felt bad about doing, but I was like, I can't do that again. And it was like, it was primarily guys too. So I didn't really feel comfortable like being like, hey, can you guys keep it down? As like, you know, I didn't feel safe doing that. So it was just super annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I hear you on that.
Yeah.
This is one that really gets me. And this came up earlier this year because there were some TikTok videos going around with these girls sharing that they don't wash their hands. And I don't understand this. I don't understand how people don't wash their hands. And these girls were specifically talking about how, you know, they were tired of feeling shamed for like, if they go to the bathroom, not washing their hands.
I'm going to shame you for that.
They were like, but my hand's not touching anything. And I'm just like, well, it touched a handle maybe. It touched a door. It touched this. And if you're not washing your hands and that other person's not washing their hands and maybe they're doing filthy, you know, maybe they tore that bathroom up after a Taco Bell binge. Like,
yeah.
And then you're just walking around and you're just like,
you're like, you didn't physically touch pee or poop, so you feel like your hand's clean?
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not.
It's so, like, I wash my hands multiple times a day, not just after I go to the bathroom, but just like, sometimes I'll just be like, you know what? It's been a few hours. I'm just going to wash my hands really quick. Or if I'm at work and I've touched a lot of different things, I'm like, I'm going to go wash my hands real quick.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, and I know this is, I'm speaking from a very, maybe it's a privileged position because we have running water and it's easy and we have accessibility, but that's where I'm at right now. And that's the people I'm around. I expect that from you, is to just wash your hands and don't brag about not doing it. Don't brag. Like,
Please
it's not,
don't. That's
it's
so
not
gross.
like it's not like a clout thing to be like, I never wash my hands. I never get sick. I'm like, I need you to wash your hands.
Yes.
Like, I need you to and not just like put water on. This girl went as far as to say, like, sometimes I'll just turn the water on so the people in the bathroom that are, think I did it, and then I'll come out. And I'm just like,
why is she telling the world this? This is,
it's like a weird, that's another thing that people do now, is just they overshare. I mean, we have clearly overshared on this podcast before. Yes. We have had people tell us that was not okay for you to share. It's like, so sorry. It was funny though. So I get it. Like, there's this, sometimes you just share and it's just like, I just put it out there and blah, 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 blah. It's a good bit or something. It's just like, no.
Telling people you never wash your hands. I feel like that's information that you, number one, shouldn't be true. And number two, that just don't broadcast that.
Yeah. I just, again.
Oh my goodness.
But be a good citizen. Wash your hands.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I have one more that's kind of like just like a blanket.
Okay.
Like, it's not a specific behavior, but it is a blanket behavior. And that is to have compassion and empathy for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than being really quick to judge, which I feel like in some, like if people are doing any of these behaviors that I just mentioned that I really dislike, this is the challenge to myself, is to have empathy and compassion, because I don't know their stories, their situations, where they're coming from. And so having compassion and empathy for people, and not just when they're doing those kind of behaviors. I mean, the people that, like, I want to include the people that are often like just overlooked, are in a very different situation, and just not being too harsh, but having some empathy, I think is a way to be a good citizen.
Well, I'm going to tell you one group of people I have no compassion or empathy for.
Okay, what is it? Who?
The people at Costco that just stop their carts mid-aisle.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but keep going.
We're all walking into the Costco and there's a lot of people or something. This could be any grocery store. This could be Target. This could be anywhere.
Get to the side.
Just move over.
Out of the way.
Yeah, like you know the flow. This isn't your first rodeo, okay? This isn't your first time at the Costco. You know people like are going to veer off down the lanes, but you're walking, and sometimes there's people that are walking in such a way that they're not really on the either side. They're not coming or going. They're kind of in the middle. And then they'll just stop and start talking to a friend. And I'm like standing there trying to, like, it's like being in traffic and you're having to try to blink over to get around them. And it's a whole thing.
It is a whole thing.
And I'm just like,
be aware of
don't be in your own bubble.
Be aware of the people around you.
Yeah. It's
for
like,
the love.
I get it. Like this, like everybody, you should be the Beyonce of your own life. Like this is, there's a girl on, so Stassi from Vanderpump Rules said this, like, what are you doing if you're not the Beyonce of your own life? Which makes sense, right? You should be the main character of your life. However, in that same situation, you need to recognize that everyone around you still has their own life with their own stuff. And when you stop to talk to your neighbor from 15 years ago in front of the batteries on display on the end cap at Costco, and now I'm stuck behind you having to wait for 30 seconds to get around to get my organic raspberries, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
No compassion.
I feel like that's fair.
A lot.
That's
fair.
That's
a lot of
fair.
passion there, but
I think that's fair.
I that's my number one pet peeve in this whole world, is when other people inconvenience. Like, I never want to inconvenience anyone else. And I think I always try not to be a burden on people or inconvenience or like do the thing that's just like rude and out of pocket. But it's just like not enough people do that.
Oh.
Not enough people do that. But I will try. I'm going to try and have a little bit more compassion in my heart when people are being horrible.
Oh, me too.
If you're enjoying the podcast and would like to support the show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost. Check out their latest album now. Thank you so much.